We're showing them tons of properties and finding them really exactly what they want, and they're still not really wanting to pull the trigger. If you dive deeper on that and find out what it is that's causing them to wait, there's about 15 things, but the top 5 are this. Are you ready?
Welcome to the Auer Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
Hey, welcome to the Auer Team Podcast. I'm Bryan Auer, and it's good to be back. We took about a week off, maybe 2 weeks now, and it's really good to be back. I have a lot of things I wanted to share with y'all. Again, for those of you who might be watching on YouTube, you're probably going to see me, look away from the camera quite a few times because I want to make sure I stick to my notes. We have been talking a lot about masterminds and getting together with other agents who are really good at what they do and just collaborating. So whenever I do that, I take notes. I always have my computer open and I just jot down a bunch of things. And sometimes I'll put together a little bit of an outline after, which is taking notes on my notes. I think my daughter taught me that. I'm pretty sure I got to throw her the credit. She's actually studying right now to be an attorney. She's way smarter than me. But she will scribble and take a bunch of notes, and then she'll take notes on her notes. And when you do that, so many more things come out of that. It's almost like doing another mastermind by yourself, right? Super cool. So I take notes on my computer, and then sometimes a day later or later that day, I take notes on my notes, and then I come up with something. And if it's good enough, I like to share it with people here on the podcast. These podcasts are sort of geared towards buyers, sort of geared towards sellers. And sometimes they're geared just to help other agents because we like doing that here at the Auer Team. And that is just to help other agents out with no strings attached, right? So without further ado, I wanted to share with you that we had been talking a lot about why buyers are just kind of not moving right now and how the market feels so different right now than it did even just, first quarter. What's interesting, actually first quarter and second quarter, because we're just coming into the third quarter right now. And if you compare what's happening right now compared to what happened, January, February, the market feels so different. It's not doom and gloom bad, but it's just, everything's just slower. Things are sitting longer, and we just have a lot of things going down where it's a little hard to explain because we can see why things are happening, usually tied to rates, but buyers are just, they have a lot of fear right now. And so we came up with 5 things that buyers are really afraid of right now. These are the things when we ask our buyers, and we were showing them tons of properties and finding them really exactly what they want, and they're still not really wanting to pull the trigger. If you dive deeper on that and find out what it is that's causing them to wait, there's about 15 things, but the top 5 are this. Are you ready? 5 things. This is what buyers, here in the Temecula Valley at least, this is their biggest fears. The first thing is, what if I buy a house and rates drop? What if the rates drop right after I buy? Well, really, locking in today's rates, which are, hovering in the high 6s, low 7s, only to watch them fall in the next, 6 months or so does kind of seem like, oh, geez, maybe I should wait. But the reality is, with home prices, between 6 and 800,000, or actually right in Temecula between 700 and 900,000, even a 1% rate change could mean hundreds per month, right, in payments. But the reality is, many lenders are offering free or especially reduced cost refinancing within the first 12 to 24 months. So there really shouldn't be that much fear. And we explain these to the buyers, but it's okay to pay an extra, if you can afford it, that is. It's okay to pay an extra $150 to $200 a month, again, if you can afford it, because you can refinance and still be in a home that's going to be worth a lot more money by the time you refinance. So the extra 200 that you're paying per month, maybe you do that for an entire year or 2 years. So maybe that's $2,400 or $4,800 that you've paid out. You can refinance at a time when your home is probably going to be worth $20,000 or $30,000 more. So the way the market's been going, values are going up; they're not going down. So it's okay if rates drop after you buy. The second thing that we keep hearing is that home prices kind of feel inflated right now. I mean, after years of rapid appreciation, some buyers are kind of concerned that, maybe the Temecula Valley is just, too hot to handle, right? So maybe it's kind of false inflation. We've seen that in some areas. I remember when Henderson, Nevada was just going off in like 2007, 2008, or maybe it was 2005, 2006, whatever. They couldn't build them fast enough. And then, of course, values went really high and it crashed hard, and it's still kind of suffering. So there are places like that. Temecula is proven to not be like this. So home prices might feel a little bit inflated, but it's not going to crash. Not here, not in the Temecula Valley. So a little bit of a reality check on that. Again, not with having an argumentative spirit, but coming from a place of education. If a buyer feels like home prices feel inflated right now, well, my answer to that would be, while price growth is slowing, demand still remains pretty dang strong. We're actually still in a seller's market. It's feeling a little bit more like a buyer's market right now because things are sitting a little longer. But due to limited new construction and the fact that there's still a lot of high migration to our area, not just our area, San Diego, Orange County, even LA, which is hard to believe, but stats show there's a lot of migration to these places. It's not inflated. It's not going to crash. It might slow down. The appreciation might slow down from 12% a year to 3% a year, but that's still increasing. And I want to address that real quick. You do see in the news that that home pricing, or that the market is going down. The market is not going down. What's going down is the rate of increase. In other words, for many years in the past, we saw rates growth of about 12% a year. 12% a year. And some years were even more than that. But if it's been 12% a year, growth in equity on somebody's home, and now all of a sudden it's only 5% per year, the news loves to pick up on that and say, oh yeah, the market's really softening. Well, it's not. That's not what's happening. The market isn't going down. It's just not going up as fast. So big difference. The third thing, just staying on track here, is that some buyers are saying there's nothing that I really love. I'm seeing a lot of homes, but there's nothing I really love. So I feel like I'm just kind of settling. And again, the best homes are still getting multiple offers, and being ready and pre-approved is going to be still very important. But again, I look at it like you got to get in at some point. And especially if it's your first home, it doesn't have to be your dream home. You don't even know what your dream home is yet. You got to live in a few homes before you realize, oh, this is what I've been missing. It's hard to come up with your dream home when you're looking for your first home. It needs to scratch or check a lot of boxes, but not every box. To me, if you're rating something that's on a 1 to 10 scale, a 7, that is an offer territory for sure. Because it's more important to get in the market and start gaining equity than to just stay on the sidelines while things get more expensive and rents go up, and you're just paying out so much money. If you're getting close to affording a home, and if you can afford that payment, and you can't find what you think is your dream home, don't worry, you're not settling. Just make sure it scratches all the right boxes, like the right schools and the right part of the neighborhood. Things like that are more important than, it not having stainless steel appliances or other things that just aren't really your perfect dream. The fourth thing is, what if I can't afford payment? I mean, that's a big concern, right? What if I can't afford it? I wouldn't worry about that, because if you can't afford it, you're not going to buy it, right? I understand that's a fear, but if you're out looking, then you probably already talked to a lender. And if you haven't, we're going to suggest that you do. A local lender can walk you through all the costs, including the taxes, CFDs or Mello-Roos, any type of special assessments, the homeowners association fees, if there is any. You're going to know all of that stuff, especially if you're working with our team, before you even start writing offers. There's no way we're going to let you write an offer on a property that we know you can't afford. So I wouldn't really worry about that too much. You're going to know going in that you can afford the monthly payment or not. There's not going to be any guesswork there. The fifth thing is, we hear a lot from buyers is, should I wait for a better market? And this one kind of just ties into everything else we've been talking about. I mean, there has been better markets where homes were cheaper. And at that time, it was just a buying frenzy, and people were, there was 40 offers on every property that we had. And so I don't know if that's really something you should wait for, because that's what's going to happen when rates come down. It's going to be a frenzy out there. I know that there's always going to be that fear of kind of missing out on better deals that would come in the future. But again, timing the market and trying to time the market perfectly is super difficult, even for a real estate professional. So I wouldn't wait for a better market, because what we're seeing is values going up, and it's very likely that interest rates are going to come down. So, if you can afford the payment, then I would just get in, because if you're renting right now, unfortunately, you're throwing money away. So anyway, that's kind of all I had. Those 5 things. This is what we are hearing all the time. What if rates drop after I buy? Home prices feel inflated. Is it going to crash? There's nothing I love, so am I just settling? What if I can't afford the monthly payment? And should I wait for a better market? We hear it all the time. And hey, those are real questions. Those are fair questions. I just thought I would share it with you. What are you guys hearing out there? If you're a real estate agent and you're hearing similar questions, comment below. I'd like to get a feel for what you're hearing. I have a feeling it's pretty similar, but you may have other ones that are really good. And what is your comeback to those, if you have one? Let's talk about it. Anyway, thanks for checking out the Our Team podcast, and I really appreciate you guys checking in, and appreciate the emails. Appreciate the texts that I get from some of my colleagues that regularly listen. I kind of can't believe that happens. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later. Ciao.